Hey, don't usually do this type of stuff, but I feel like this is pretty necessary to talk about. As you probably know, I've been uploading pretty frequently recently, almost back to back within a couple of weeks. And let's talk about that. I do put a lot of time and effort into this content, and if you enjoy the video or enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. Subscribing is the easiest and most effective way of telling me that you guys like the content that I'm putting out. So, you know, if you like it, press the button. It's not that fucking hard. I do want to thank you guys though for the overwhelming positivity and kind comments you guys are leaving on the videos. It helps me know that what I'm doing is right, and yeah, thank you very much. Straight to the video. A little while ago, I covered Sega Superstars Tennis for the Wii, and it made me sick. But, and this is a significant but, Sega looked at the sales records for Sega Superstars Tennis and said, this game didn't sell well. Let's make a sequel. But this time, our good old pals over at Sumo Digital decided they weren't going to follow that tennis route because that clearly didn't work out. But instead, they'd try something new. And thus, in 2010, we were gifted with Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Bit of an overwhelming title, but don't let that deceive you. This game is amazing. If you've watched my previous video on Sega Superstars Tennis, you'll see that one of my main critiques is the fact that the roster is so filled with fat and it doesn't have a lot of representation for really good Sega franchises. Sega really did go out with a bang this time instead of just adding Knights, Riala, Beat, Gum, Pudding. We'll talk about the roster in a bit, but for now, let's talk about the actual gameplay itself. This game is basically the Mario Kart for people with big dicks, and if you disagree, the proof is in the pudding. You got your typical shit like the drift boost and your items and your starting race boost and stuff. And all that stuff feels relatively similar to Mario Kart, except it feels far more refined in Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing than it does in any Mario Kart, in my opinion. There's a lot to talk about specifically, so let's make this quick and sharp. The drifting controls are much more tighter than Mario Kart, and there are 3 different levels of boosts for each character to achieve during the drifting stage. Karts have significantly more weight, resulting in far more control. There is a risk and reward trick system, which the more you use it, the more boost you'll have when you land on the ground. However, this acts as a double-edged sword, as when you use it, there is a chance that you will hit the ground without any boost at all because you've used it too hastily. Every single character in the game has custom stats. There is no hopping during the drift, so you just go straight into a drift state at the press of a button. Characters in the air are much more floaty and allow for more tricks to be completed. Projectiles that hit cars will never leave the cars in a completely stunted state. Nudging or skimming walls will never ever destroy your boost. Letting go of the accelerate button won't stop your drifting state, nor will it put you in a permanent halt. That's it for the major changes, but there are a lot of minimal changes that are spread throughout the game that you'll probably notice playing your first time. I'm still just surprised that Sumo Digital managed to go from such a shitty game like Sega Superstars Tennis to literally topping Mario Kart, in my opinion. It's not even Mario Kart either. I genuinely think this game tops its sequel, Transformed, and it even tops Team Sonic Racing. This game is just like completely disregarded because the sequel has the funny Team Fortress characters in it. Speaking of characters, let's get into the roster because on a scale of Keanu Reeves to Big Chungus, it's a solid wholesome. We have some really good representation in the roster this time. We've got Jackie and Akira from Virtua Fighter. We've got Zobio and Zobiko from Kirai Manch. House of the Dead. We've got Opa from Fantasy Zone, and we've got Alex Kidd, who also looks like shit. Nothing's changed. We've got fucking Ryo Hazuki from Shenmue, which is sick. There is a whole heap of new Sega characters, and quite frankly, I am fucking relieved. And even the Sonic roster this time, we only have 7. None of the Sonic characters were taken out, and 2 more were added. This game only has 20 characters. That almost makes up a half of the fucking roster. I don't want to play as Sonic characters. I want to play as Sega characters in a Sega racing game. Who the fuck was asking for Big the Cat? But at least we have BD Joe, and we know what BD stands for. Big Dichungus. The stage picks this time around are admittedly a little bit disappointing. Only 6 or 7 key franchises are represented in the stage roster, that being, I think, Sonic, Monkey Ball, Samba de Amigo, Jet Set Radio, Billy Hatcher, House of the Dead, and I think one other franchise. But of course, Sonic has 9 stages in the game. Crazy Taxi doesn't get any stages, Space Channel 5 doesn't get any stages, Shenmue doesn't get any stages, but House of the fucking Dead does? It's no coincidence that Sonic stages in this game are easily the worst in the game. But I'll stop bitching, let's move on. Items this time around probably aren't as good as Mario Kart, but offer a more balanced experience than Mario Kart. There's nothing particularly noteworthy here, apart from like, I don't know, the horn or the horn. They didn't really add a lot to this game in terms of new innovative items. However, there is one main big item that kind of defines the game as All-Stars Racing. Every character has an ability called an All-Star, and you get this ability by being like shit at the game and in last place. So you, the viewer, will have no problem getting this item. This item, I guess, grants the player temporary invincibility as well as a side gimmick while racing. So for example, if you're playing as Shadow and you get the All-Star move, you'll transform into Super Shadow and you'll be able to start throwing out Chaos Spears like in Sonic Adventure 2. The best part about this item, bar none, is the fact that it's not actually a win button. At best, it'll probably push you up maybe like 4 or 5 places in the race depending on where you are on the track. Every single All-Star ability is practically completely unique as well. So you could go from getting hit by Akira as Jackie Bryant and going into a speed frenzy across the track, or drinking some potion and becoming a monster as Zombie Man. My favorite ability has to be Rob Schneider's ability, where he loses 3 inches in height at the click of a button. There's an online mode for this game as well, and I would use it if other people played it. So a little bit after I recorded this video, we did some experimentation on this game, and it turns out this game doesn't actually have online at all. There was online for the Xbox 360 version, the Mac version for some reason, and the PS3 version, but there was no online at all for the Windows version. And there was no fix for this. There was no like exploit or like change or mod to fix this. You straight up cannot play online on the Windows version of Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. That's fucking whack. I just wanted to throw this in the video because I found that to be like a sin. There's also DLC in this game, but you can't actually buy the DLC characters on the PC version. You can play as Metal Sonic and a variation of Ryo Hazuki, but you can't buy them on the fucking Steam version. Like, why? I was more than willing to fork out, like, what, $10 for them? But you don't give me the option to. This lack of PC support is really driving me a little bit insane. A really fun glitch I ran into while playing this game that fucking caught me and off guard as fuck is the game's audio will glitch out completely if you have VSync turned off. So, like, the race will start, and, like, 5 seconds in, you'll just hear, like, a and then nothing, just silence. There's a mission mode. I haven't touched it. I played it when I was younger. I didn't like it. I thought it was tedious. And I can't remember what it unlocks. So, probably the ability to buy the DLC. I'm gonna be completely honest here. I have no idea what else to talk about. Like, you can buy more music too. Multiplayer is naturally gonna be more fun than playing on your own. Time trial. But that's kind of it. I mean, I wasn't expecting some, like, grand tour of content, but, like, I feel like there's nothing here to keep me going. Don't get me wrong here. What's here is really fun, and I really enjoy my time with it. It's such a fun and replayable kart racer game. Occasionally. I just think that Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing kind of lacks in content compared to, like, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed and Team Sonic Racing, to be honest. I went through all the content, I unlocked every character, I played every course, I tried the mission mode. I didn't really like it all that much, as I've said prior, but yeah, I feel like there's not a lot here. Wait, I'm missing something here. Oh, Lord. This game's fucking announcer, nice voice crack by the way, is legendary.
Well, my friends, we've got an all-star loose, and when we're an all-star, no one can hear you scream. Amy, honey, aim! Eggman clearly needing more target practice. Nice shot, player one. Just kidding. Come on, BD Joe, take it like a man, man.